Hey everyone, Coach Connor here, and I'm going to walk you through how I use my Google Drive storage system. So, let's see, right here I have pulled up my personal Google Drive that I use for everything, and I'm going to walk you through how to use it and my own personal rules for organizing it. Okay, so I have a few rules that I tend to follow in order to just keep myself honest. The first one is that the most important files that I use on, let's say, a day-to-day basis or even a weekly basis are ones that I have to give a color, okay? That's mostly just personal preference. I don't leave them the standard black just because I want something my eyes to be drawn to, an extra pop on the screen so that I can find them quicker. Okay, so for example, right here I have a folder labeled grad school, and we can see I've made it this color right here. How do you do that? So when you create a new folder, which would be up here under the new category, so new, I would create a folder, I would give it a name. I've already done that a bunch, so we're gonna click cancel. Let's say I just named this folder grad school. Okay, now this folder pops up, and normally it would look like one of these, just the standard dark charcoal grayish black. Okay, now in order to change that, you would go over to the More Actions button on the side of the folder. We would click that, we would click Organize, and then a drop-down is going to pop up with all of these color options. So we can see that I chose this lovely macaroni color for grad school. Okay, that's the first rule. The second rule that I keep is that all work-related content, so things that I teach in my classes, personal projects, or coursework that I'm putting towards my master's degree, I keep them all distinctly separate. They have to have their own folder. So we can see that right here I have a folder called Master Lesson Plans. That is entirely things I keep for work. Right here we have a folder called Grad School. In it we will only find assignments for my master's program. Over here we have something called the Lyceum. That's for me. It's a personal project. Okay? They all have a color. They're all separate. Okay, let's say I go within one of these folders. Okay? The third and final rule is that for me personally, I categorize as broadly and as often as I can. So sometimes things within a folder will start to pile up. Okay, so what do? I create more layers. So right here, we can see that there's this folder at the top. It's called Theories and Trends. That is a course I'm currently taking. I already showed you earlier how to make a folder. You would click New. You would click New Folder. And then I named this one Theories and Trends. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of the assignments in my grad school folder that belong to this class, and I'm going to just put them in that class. Real simple. Like I said, I like to create layers of organization so that it's easy to track and it's easy to recall. Okay, finally, just how do you create other things besides folders in Google Drive? Let's focus on this document right here. It says strictly for editing. So in every folder I have, whether it's personal, work-related, or for school, I always have this like brain dump document, whether it's something for me to gather a bunch of pictures or resources, whether it's something for me to edit some equations for a math class I'm teaching, or even just a place to like sketch out some thoughts. I always have just an editing document. So I'm going to show you how to create one of those. Okay, it's really simple. Again, everything just filters through New. We go to New, we click Google Docs. Let's say this is for a math class that I'm teaching and I need to be able to type some equations. I might call this equation editor, and then insert symbol equation. Let's say we're learning about, I don't know, linear graphs. Okay, I could type the general form of a linear equation for all of my students to see. So the nice thing about me demonstrating this and showing you just a sample document is actually Google Drive will save this document exactly where you put it and exactly what you named it, even if you exit out of it. So right now I can totally close this tab and we can go back to my grad school folder and we can see that yes, there is that document still right there. The only way to get rid of it is to physically click on More Actions and get rid of it. Oops. misclick. There we go. Alright, and that's really all I can say. People may use their own personal cloud data storage drives a little differently, but I hope you all have enjoyed learning about my process.